What's up, 10%ers? What's going on, guys? Good to see you. Good to see you. What's going on with Bitcoin? Are we going to double bottom, or have we already double bottomed? Starting to look that way, guys. Starting to look that way. One would theorize that we have wicked down far enough to call it a double bottom. However, we could still wick down below this blue line. It doesn't matter where these candles wick, right, guys? It matters where they close. So this could be the double bottom we've been looking for, the double bottom we've been calling for a little while now. We're finally here, man. And we got I'm just going to put a user on timeout because of their idiocracy. So, all right. So what do we got here? Yes, double bottom, guys. Double bottom playing out. And yeah, so that's what we're going to keep an eye on. Will we go lower? We could wick a little bit lower, but as long as we close above this blue line, guys, we are okay. So Bitcoin's looking good. Let's go look at Ethereum. What do we got over on ETH? Have we bottomed? I'm almost a little bit anxious because I feel like the market's going to start to recover before the live stream's over. I want to do some DCAing. Ethereum sitting inside of a bull flag on the 8-hour and the 4-hour, looking good. Ethereum's looking primed. Guys, we may have bottomed. Bitcoin showing a double bottom, bullish. Ethereum in a bull flag, bullish. All signs point to bullishness. All right, so we have 0 super chats to start the stream. Not many people here either. Usually there's more. We have 111 people watching, 112 people watching. We have 25 likes. Let's get it going here, guys. Let's get the likes up. The channel has been we are being shadow banned by YouTube right now. We're being suppressed, so we got to beat out the algorithm. So help us out, guys. Click the like button and subscribe. What do we got? Oh, we got our first super chat. Double bottoms over single bottoms any day. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Absolutely. Double bottom is getting ready to play out, my friends. Okay, what do we got? Strawberry Dragon, fire sale. Let's go. Let's go. Now, if you missed the live stream this morning, I showed you guys all the corrections we had in the 2021 cycle versus now. And the 2021 cycle, the dips there make this look like a joke, right? So Paul says, patience, guys. Lots of people losing their minds. They're really not going to know how to act when it takes off. Exactly. Exactly. Too many people being controlled by emotions right now. And if you're sitting there and you're being toxic and negative and leaving negative comments, you may not think so, but you are indeed being controlled by your emotions right now. All-American Meathead, Rob just got a $25K a year raise. Did someone say DCA? Congratulations, my friend. That is super fantastic. I am happy for you. Yes, that is a fantastic reason to DCA. Jake the Snake says, double bottom. Why, Roberto, how forward of you? Z-Man, can we please just have an altcoin season already? Soon enough, man. Tony says, let's go. It's a me, Mario, Senor Rob. I must admit, I have not felt this type of adrenaline in a while. Let's go, baby. Absolutely, guys. Make sure you're hitting the like and subscribe on the way in. Like I said before, it helps the channel grow. It costs you absolutely nothing at all. And we have to beat out this algorithm that is suppressing the channel. So it's the HBO special, guys. Help a brother out. Carlos, Rob, are we still targeting a parabolic pump middle of August? Well, we're already in the middle of August. But what I would say is, yes, in my opinion, we are going to start moving very violently to the upside very soon. And you're not going to see it coming, guys. A lot of people are still going to be whining and complaining. And they're going to wake up. The market's going to be pumping. They're like, what the hell happened? Well, you were too busy whining and complaining to pay attention to what was actually playing out. Tony, anyone look at WikiCat, BNB Tiger, Inu, and Volt Inu? I generally don't promote meme coins here, to be honest with you. I don't dislike them or anything, but too many rug pulls out there, guys. Crypto J505, what's up, everyone? DCA Tuesday, let's go. Gamma Goddess, there she is. Let's stay positive. We're almost there. Let's get this money. Absolutely. Absolutely. Positive vibes from fam. Many will be caught off guard when we send. Stay focused. Absolutely. Crypto JPEG. Good afternoon, Rob. I have to ask, are we there yet? Nice. Wendy, good afternoon, Rob and weirdos. Happy Wednesday from down under. Down under. Awesome. Out in Australia, kicking ass, taking names. Beebs, what's up, buddy? Over on both channels. Good to see you, buddy. Jake the Snake, Z-Man, altcoin season already happened. Did you miss it? Yeah, we're already rich. You missed it. We're in a bear market now, bro. Just messing with you, man. Just messing with you. David, I keep a small amount of dry powder for swing trades, but always end up deploying it in these dips. Good problem to have, I guess. Yeah, the struggle's real. First world problems, man. DCA Tuesday, there you go. William, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Motives, looks like bottom is in. Let's go. Liquidity, scooped up a whole bunch at 112K level. Nice. Nice timing, man. Maybe we recover a bit or dump a bit more, but either way, market's looking good. Absolutely. Crypto J505, would it be smart to keep 5% of every coin after exiting? I mean, I guess. I don't know. I wouldn't call it smart or not smart. Utility plays might not be a bad idea to hold a moon bag, but I don't know. Depends on the size of your portfolio as well, right? Tyler, what's up, man? Yo, Patreon fam. Good to see you, man. Robin, hey, Rob. Feeling it again. Feeling fit again. Do you still think that Miria can be 207 before the end of September? 207. Well, I mean, for my exit price points and stuff like that, that's over on the Patreon, my friend. You know that. Tyler, crypto taught me patience. Every dip I buy, the market says, nah, deeper, bro, deeper. Rob, you should make a stuffed teddy bear version of yourself that your followers can snuggle and cry into. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. We're going to build a bear, right? Lewis, Rob, can you look at the Miria chart and see what you think? Well, we'll have dry powder. Here's what I would say, Lucas. I could pull up the Miria chart for you right now, but I'm telling you right now, any chart that I look at is going to be essentially, most of them are in bullish structures. and most of them are prime DCA opportunities. Most altcoins are close to their bottoms, their local bottoms, as Bitcoin is double bottomed already. It's already back up. Bitcoin's already back up to 113.5. So, yeah, if you had dry powder, you were considering DCAing into Miria, I wouldn't wait much longer than right now, man. Cliff saw a chart showing hedge fund short levels on Ethereum at the highest level ever when possible supply shock on Ethereum's upcoming. How good are your math skills? Exactly. What's going to happen soon? Side note, you the man, Brother Rob. Thank you so much, man. Adam, keep stringing those Happy Meals. What? For those Happy Meals? Oh yeah, there's always morons, right? There's always morons. Like I'm controlling the market or something. Hey Rob, Quentin, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Mario Deeper, how does it feel, baby? Austin Powers. It is going to be a costume party when the show up for the Happy Meal party. No kidding, eh? Dana, hello everyone. I bought some Swift. Nice. There you go, Candyman with the super chat, dropping that cheddar. I love putting on warm underwear fresh out of the dryer. Plus, it's fun to look around the laundry mat. Nice one, brother. Nice one. Oh, my guy. My guy. That's good. Okay, well, we're all caught up in the chat. Jake the Snake says, feel the burn, no pain, no gain. Exactly. If it was easy, guys, everyone would be doing it. Ryan, what's going on, Rob? Have I mentioned how much I like buying red? Exactly. The pump action. All right, guys, let's get into the news since we're all caught up on the chat. Let's get into it. Let's see what's going on this afternoon, shall we? Okay, what do we got? Quick shout out to the channel sponsor, guys, Decent Biometric Wallet. Simply use our link down below. Get yourself a fantastic deal. Not your keys, not your coins, guys. They just did a massive partnership as well. I shared it this morning and over on X about gaining APY on staking your XRP. You're not going to want to miss out on that, guys. They got a 2-for-1 deal on the biometric wallet right now. Again, use our link in the description to get a fantastic deal. Okay, what else do we got? Jack, what's up, Rob? Can you flip the switch already? Yeah, no kidding. I wish I could, brother. I wish I could. Right, what else do we have? All right, let's get into it here. Courtesy of Colin Talks Crypto. Remember, 20 to 30% corrections are normal in a bull market. They may not be easy to stomach nor fun, but they are, in fact, normal. As you can see, guys, going all the way back to 2016 on the chart, look at all these corrections. 60%, 25, 38, 36, 32, 39, 29, 30, 53, 20, 16... Can't read that one, it's too dark. 27, 24, 22, 21, 21, 23, 29, and 30. Guys, this is a normal thing. Stop whining, stop complaining, and take advantage of the situation, right? If you are emotional right now, how are you ever expecting yourself to be successful in this space and become a 7-digit portfolio, become a multimillionaire in this space? How do you expect to ever get there if you're constantly bitching and complaining, right? And being negative? Do you really think that's the path to becoming successful in investing? Do you really think, is that how Michael Saylor became successful? Is that how all of these all of these professional investors, multimillionaires, billionaires, do you think the road to them becoming multimillionaires and billionaires was riddled with bitching and complaining on the internet and being emotional? Or was it consistency, patience, timing, DCAing, and being strategic and logical instead of emotional? You decide which path all of those other millionaires took to become successful, and then you decide which path you think you should take, right? Big C, I can't stand the heat. Get me out of the kitchen. Yeah, no kidding, man. No kidding. Okay, what else do we have? Let's go check the Coinbase app ranking. We haven't checked it yet today. Coinbase app rank bot. So we are among all apps ranked 302, down from yesterday's 298, and we are ranked among financial apps 24th, down one spot from yesterday's 23. So, guys, now if you're wondering what this metric is, usually it means retail's here, and you need to start considering getting out of crypto when you see this Coinbase app rank in the top 10, top 5, top 3, top 1. Then it's time to start heading for the door, GTFO style, right? So just one more metric we like to use. All right, check this out. 12.9 billion. Franklin Templeton, CEO, says digital assets are going to become mainstream. You are early.
Right, and it'll be events like the one you're attending right now that kind of catalyze a lot of that. What message does it send that Michelle Bowman, a Fed Vice Chair of Banking Supervision, is attending the conference? What does that signal to the crypto industry? What does that signal to the financial services industry?
Well, I think it signals that this is becoming mainstream, right? Digital assets are going to become mainstream. Now, that doesn't mean all of them. I think there's going to be some that, you like in anything, you have to be sort of careful and really understand the space. But again, this underlying technology is so powerful that bringing it together, and I think a recognition that it is important for regulators, it's important for for traditional financial people to understand the space and to figure out how to converge these things together. And so I think that's really the message.
Right.
Franklin Templeton jumping aboard, my friends, jumping aboard. Jack stacked and fanny packed. Let's go. Ethereum dominates crypto inflows. Massive 2.87 billion recorded in a week. Investors poured 2.87 billion into Ethereum and 552 million into Bitcoin in the past week, with iShares, which is BlackRock, leading the charge, primarily driven by U.S. institutional investor interest. Ethereum's dominant inflows indicate a market leadership shift, emphasizing institutional preference and Ethereum's growing importance in the cryptocurrency portfolios, potentially influencing future crypto asset allocations. A substantial investment shift in the cryptocurrency market has been observed, with Ethereum attracting significant inflows, 2.87 billion last week, marking a strategic shift in market leadership. BlackRock's iShares played a major role in facilitating this surge, channeling most investments into Ethereum exchange-traded funds. The inflows were primarily driven by U.S.-listed ETFs and accounted for 77% of the total crypto investments, a record level. The data suggests a robust shift in allocation by money managers towards Ethereum. Bitcoin, in comparison, saw inflows of 552 million, reaffirming Ethereum's superior weekly performance. The financial community is taking note of the changing trend, with Ethereum's bullish momentum potentially leading to further DeFi growth and adoption of Layer 2 solutions. Analysts point out that the options market trading higher Ethereum prices confirms bullish sentiment, further emphasizing Ethereum's growing influence. I got the hiccups. Overall, this influx reshapes the cryptocurrency landscape, solidifying Ethereum's leadership position and potentially influencing future investments and asset management strategies. This scenario starkly contrasts previous trends where Bitcoin traditionally led significant inflow surges. Ethereum, guys, if you're feeling bearish right now, man, I don't know what to tell you. You are definitely not reading the tea leaves. Big C says this is how they shake out the weak holders, and then boom, parabolic run. People trust Rob's advice. We are so close. Stay the course. Absolutely. Gamma Goddess in the house. Okay, what else do we have? Let's keep it going, keep it growing. we're going to segue over to Squawk Box. What's happening this afternoon over in the telly? Home Depot sales will re-accelerate as rates move lower.
As we've been talking about, Home Depot reporting earnings this morning. The company missed on the bottom line, but did show improvement in their U.S. comps over the last 3 months, every month of the quarter. Joining us right now for his reaction is Brian Nagel. He is Oppenheimer's senior equity research analyst. And Brian, just tell me what you think about what you saw from this release.
Well, good morning, Becky. Look, I think it's largely more of the same from Home Depot. I know we've been talking about this for a very long time now, but Home Depot is managing well. This is a very well-run company in a very solid sector. But what's lacking here is that sales momentum. And I don't think that happens. I don't think we get sales momentum at Home Depot or through the home improvement channel until we get rates more accommodative. But when I look at this quarter, it's more the same. You're right. What they're talking about is sales getting a bit better, sales growth getting a bit better as the fiscal quarter progressed. I think that's a lot of weather. What we saw is the weather turned more summer-like as the quarter progressed. So I think Home Depot probably benefited there, but you're still really lacking that true sales momentum.
So for Home Depot and for Lowe's, I know you think both companies are well run. If some of this is out of their control and it has to do with the rate structure, A, do you think we're going to get a cut in rates soon? And B, if we do, would you buy these stocks?
Well, look, that's the big question. So I'm going to be watching very closely your next segment when Secretary Bessent is on and maybe some hints there of rates. Look, my personal view is yes, rates will move lower. The timing of that move, I think, is still questionable. I personally believe that we're running above neutral. That's not necessarily my job to make that forecast, but I do believe that. But probably, the point that to really answer your question, is covering Home Depot and knowing Home Depot very well. Yes, I very much believe that as rates move lower, as mortgage rates become, so to say, more affordable, that you're going to see a sales reacceleration at Home Depot. And frankly, the longer this dynamic, this stagnation in the U.S. housing market persists, the more pent-up demand builds. Okay, so again, as we get rates moving lower, it's still questionable when that happens. I think you're really going to see a resurgence, and that's the time. That's when you want to really own Home Depot. Now, I talk to our clients every day. There are clients that are positioned ahead of that. My advice is to wait on the sidelines a bit longer, but I do think I do think that will be a big positive for Home Depot and the home improvement space.
Richard McPhail, the CFO there, just in my conversation with him, said that they see a healthy consumer. They've been talking to the pros who use them, and they are still seeing delays, people putting off really big renovations, but they're not canceling them just yet. They think they're waiting for lower rates as well. How much of a move do you think you'd have to see? Is it 50 basis points? Is it more than that before some of those projects would actually come to fruition?
Yeah, it's okay. It's a good question. So, the 30-year fixed mortgage rate right now is just roughly 6.5. We talked a lot. The way that, like you're talking about the rate structure in the United States. If someone has a mortgage right now, that mortgage is probably at 3%. Okay, so you've got to get that 6.5 closer to 3. Now we're not getting to 3. Okay, that's not going to happen. Okay, but I think again, this is somewhat of a guess. But I think we start seeing a 5 handle on that 30-year fixed mortgage rate, something close to 5. I think there will be a big unlock dynamic there. Now, that's mortgage rates. Okay, that gets housing moving. The other piece of this on the shorter end of the curve is the HELOC rate. And so the typical dynamic is, there's a lot of equity out there, historic equity right now in homes. We want homeowners to start pulling that equity out to basically fund these bigger remodel projects, the bathrooms, the kitchens, the decks, whatever. So there we're probably, as the Fed moves, we'll probably see that happen quicker. And you can start to see that will really help to fuel that remodeling demand.
So between the two, we're going to hear from Lowe's later this week. Which do you prefer? I know you think both companies are well run. How does valuation play into this? How does performance? How does, who has the better relationship with pros? How do you kind of figure out between the two of them if you can only buy one?
Yeah, look, I've said, I think the better investment play here is Lowe's. I do. And I say that for really two reasons. One, there's still more operational slack in that business model. For years, Lowe's was mismanaged. Today, under new management, the company is much, much better run. And they're basically, their operations are now very close to Home Depot, but there's still a little more slack there. So I think that's a positive. The second is, despite all the improvements that have happened at Lowe's, the valuation gap between Lowe's and Home Depot has remained very wide. So I think that's a long-winded way of saying Lowe's is cheap. So I think Lowe's is the better investment play. Home Depot is still the better company. They're making better moves, bigger moves in that complex pro, that big pro business. They're ahead of Lowe's there. I think that could be attractive long-term. But right now, if I'm owning one stock, I'd own Lowe's.
There you go, man. There you go. Proof is in the pudding. What else do we got? Let's keep it going, guys. Brazil to hold Bitcoin reserve hearings. Shame on Home Depot for going super woke. Did they go super woke? I never saw any of their. I don't get a lot of their advertisements. I don't watch a lot of TV, so unless hockey's on, I don't watch much TV. Jake the Snake, lumber prices are falling. That's a major sign of weakness in housing. Good news for those still waiting to buy. Exactly. Volks, Danny, I see you guys. What's going on, man? Danielson, give me your energy for that spirit bomb. Absolutely. I'm a few minutes behind on the live. I will have to keep a closer eye on the chat. 50 push-ups, Danny. 50 push-ups, buddy. Brazil to hold first Bitcoin reserve hearing. All right. Brazil is set to hold its first ever hearing on the Bitcoin strategic reserves tomorrow, marking a historic step in the nation's approach to digital assets. The discussion will explore whether the country should begin accumulating Bitcoin as part of its official reserves, similar to how it managed foreign currencies and gold. This move comes as more countries begin considering Bitcoin not just as an investment, but as a sovereign reserve asset capable of diversifying national balance sheets. While El Salvador famously became the first country to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender in 2021, Brazil's exploration of a Bitcoin strategic reserve represents a different, more cautious path. Rather than focusing on daily transactions, Brazil is examining Bitcoin's potential as a hedge against currency fluctuations and global financial risks. If adopted, Brazil will become one of the largest economies to formally integrate Bitcoin into its strategic reserve strategy, a move that could influence emerging markets to follow suit. The hearing signals that nation states are beginning to stack Bitcoin, treating it as a serious financial instrument rather than a speculative asset. With its large economy and influential role in Latin America, Brazil's potential entry into the Bitcoin reserve could set a precedent for other countries exploring Bitcoin-backed fiscal strategies. While tomorrow's hearing will not immediately result in adoption, it could be the first step towards Bitcoin playing a role in Brazil's official financial policy, and by extension, a milestone for Bitcoin's global legitimacy. So that is another piece of news that we are going to be watching for tomorrow. That's going to be pretty big, guys. It could be just one of many metrics, many factors, many macroeconomic factors that are going to turn Bitcoin and crypto around after this double bottom today. So something to be paying attention to, guys. Jared, these dips make me appreciate the pumps all the more. Exactly. Tora, the GC I work with just walked in on me on the floor doing push-ups. That was fun to explain. Just tell them Future told you. They'll understand. They probably already had to put theirs in. All right, let's segue back over to Squawk Box. What else is going on over there? Treasury Secretary Besant, my strong belief is there will be a meeting between Putin and Zelensky. Let's check it out, guys.
Now, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. You never know what you're going to hear before you come on, Mr. Treasury Secretary. It's always a pleasure to have you on. Good morning.
Morning, Joe.
We have talked in the past about whether you wear different hats. And you have always said, I wear the Treasury Secretary hat. But can we talk about the meeting yesterday with the European leaders and with President Zelensky? We haven't talked to an administration official yet. Is the reporting correct that there will likely be a bilateral meeting and then perhaps one that includes President, where things stand right now?
Well, Joe, let's go all the way back to Friday, because I want to set the record straight on what went on in Alaska. Alaska was a show of force by President Trump. He invited President Putin to land that the Russians used to own. He displayed a huge amount of military hardware and then did a flyover. It was kind of like inviting your uncontrollable neighbor to your house and showing him your gun case. So then the President Zelensky, we had a very good meeting with him and his team in the Oval for about an hour and a half. And then we met with the European leaders. It was an incredible group to have in the White House, all led by President Trump. And yes, the culmination of that was a call with President Putin. And my strong belief is that there will be a bilateral meeting between President Putin and President Zelensky. And that's the only way to end this conflict, is to get the two sides talking.
There's such a large intersection between security and economics. I would think that any thing that we arrive at, or that Ukraine arrives at with President Putin, to get him to, I don't know, for lack of a better term, to behave or to live up to all of the promises that are made, what type of economic considerations would be involved there, whether it's carrots or sticks? Because we've talked about, he's made promises in the past that he hasn't lived up to, and there's a feeling that he's going to have to be induced to live up to whatever pieces is arrived at.
Well, I think the sense is that both sides are ready for this terrible conflict to end. And one of the ways to make President Putin want it to end is on the economic side. The Russian economy has 20% plus inflation. Right now, it is a war economy. I think more than 25% of the GDP is coming from the military buildup. So, you know, it's a very imbalanced economy. They're the frozen Russian assets. The runoff from those is now being used to finance the war. So, you know, there are a lot of moving pieces here, Joe. And then there's the Russian oil. We have planned to up the tariffs on India. These are secondary tariffs for buying the sanctioned Russian oil.
It was interesting watching just the dynamic with the president and the different leaders from Europe that were there. We had just finished a lot of negotiations on tariffs and trade, and everybody seemed to be getting along. It was a little bit surreal, was it not?
Well, Joe, it was a optimistic, great day. Everybody's looking forward. The tariff discussions behind us, and that was very successful. Well, with Europe, and that's a very successful negotiation that President Trump completed in Scotland a few weeks ago, and now we can look forward to getting this terrible conflict solved.
Treasury Secretary Bessent, just in terms of already being done with those deals, I mean, there's still things that are popping up. The Financial Times had a story this week that pointed to the Digital Services Act and the Europeans really wanting to preserve the Digital Services Act and still be able to go after with that. And those are some of the non-tariff barriers that you all had been trying to negotiate and get rid of. It sounds like that is still there. Do you think this cooperation, this potential cooperation when it comes to Ukraine and Russia will end up affecting some of those economic talks that you've been having and will continue to have, I'm certain, for years to come?
Well, Becky, what you're talking about is the digital services tax, the DST, which is an unfair tax where some, not all, European countries tax our great internet companies. And, you know, it's unfair because it's very specific to our companies. But again, Europe very often has a collective action problem. The tariff negotiations were with the EU. I can name a few. I believe it's Italy, France, Spain have the DST, Germany, Poland, others do not. So that's more at the national level than at the EU level, and the tariff negotiations were at the EU level.
But will the Digital Services Act be something that this administration pursues actively? I guess is question one. And question two, because of this cooperation that you see on areas like defense and national security, will that bleed into any of the conversations that are taking place on the economic side? I mean, I think it's key that you, as the Treasury Secretary, are involved in all of these conversations.
Yeah, look, I think that the DST is very different than security guarantees for Ukraine. Everyone wants this conflict to stop, and we're not going to let the DST stand in between that. But we are pushing back. We're pushing back on countries around the world. And the problem with the European countries doing it is once the European countries do it, then they set a global standard, and countries like India, Turkey, Brazil think it's okay to do it.
Well, I mean, there is some good news coming out of that, right? So that whole situation, I don't like to talk too much about it because YouTube doesn't like it. We're already shadow banned. That's why we need you guys to hit the like button. We are at 212 people watching, 81 likes, guys. Let's get to 100. We only need 19 more likes. Let's get them up there. Gamma Goddess says, don't let the red fool you. That means flash sale. DCA, hold the line, family. We're almost there. Absolutely, Gamma. My right hand, Gamma. Absolutely, man. She is the enforcer. Her and Andy and Ramona, family. Absolutely. You don't mess with the family. What do we got? Big C, thank you. And God bless, Rob. Thank you so much. It has been a very, very sparse day for Super Chats today. Holy smokes. I just realized that. Yeah. Johnny, my guy. What's up, man? Johnny is back. Guys, Johnny, the very first channel member of the Crypto Future family all those years ago, still with me after all this time. My guy, my brother, always supporting the channel. I appreciate you, Johnny. Welcome in, my friend. Good to see you. Wheezing in the house. All right, what else do we have? TeraWulf stocks soar after Google bumps up stake to 14% in $3.2 billion deal. Bitcoin miner and data center operator TeraWulf saw its stock fly by 5% after Google raised its stake in the company from 8% to 14%. Why is Google investing so much? TeraWulf announced on August 18th that Google had raised its stake in the company in order to support its data center expansion at the company's data center campus in Lake Mariner, New York, through the artificial intelligence platform FluidStack. According to the release, Google will be providing a backstop of $1.4 billion in debt financing to support the expansion of the data center campus. In exchange, Google will receive warrants to acquire 32.5 million shares of TeraWulf common stock. Data from Yahoo Finance shows that in the past 5 days following the announcement, TeraWulf stock jumped 5%. It is currently trading at $9.38, having gone up by 4.57% in the past 24 hours. Its trading volume also soared from just around $300,000 to nearly 30 million shares in just 2 days. With the recent addition of $1.4 billion in debt financing, Google increases its investment to approximately $3.2 billion after FluidStack decided to expand its lease as part of its 10-year deal with TeraWulf. The added investment raises Google's stake in the company from 8% to 14% of the total TeraWulf equity ownership. This funding will aid FluidStack, a Google-backed firm, in developing the data center at TeraWulf's Lake Mariner campus in New York. Google's investment into TeraWulf represents a shift in AI computing, considering Google has made strides to develop its AI and machine learning products, particularly Gemini. Google's $3.2 billion investment into TeraWulf reflects its growing trend of Bitcoin mining companies using their infrastructure to meet surging AI compute demand. In the case of Bitcoin mining, advanced miners typically use application-specific integrated circuits, or ASICs, instead of general-purpose GPUs. However, there are more GPUs that are used for both crypto mining and AI computing, most of them manufactured by NVIDIA. These include models like the NVIDIA RTX 4090 or the RTX 6000 ADA, which are popular choices due to their VRAM and tensor cores, which are crucial for AI as well as their parallel processing for mining. Other options include the NVIDIA RTX 3060, a 12 gigabyte and older model like the NVIDIA GTX 1080 Ti or the RTX 2060 in the second quarter. Yeah, we don't care about that. While the specific NVIDIA model wasn't disclosed, the company said that this cluster supports its nascent high-performance computing and AI initiatives. This means that Google Gemini will be able to run on TeraWulf's NVIDIA GPUs, which are usually meant for mining crypto. Interesting. Although cryptocurrency mining hardware becomes obsolete relatively quickly, often within 1.5 to 3 year timeframes due to the rapid technological advancements, in this case, the technology could be of use to AI and machine learning platforms like Google Gemini in the long run. Google investing in these Bitcoin mining companies. Why are you still bearish on Bitcoin? What do we got here? Jake the Snake says, hey, Gamma, seen what you do with that hand? Shut your face. Big Mike got my back. There you go, man. I appreciate you. Keep it coming, Rob. Your research is definitely appreciated. Seriously, thank you so much, man. Like I said, super chats have been very, very sparse today for some reason, so thank you so much. Thank you. Big Mike's always got my back, though. PM, Fridge, what's going on? Super chat broken for me today. Just says error. Sometimes you have to leave and then come back in again, or check if you've got a VPN on. I remember Ramona had that problem before. She couldn't send a super chat, so she left the stream and came back in, and then it would let her. So just food for thought there. Food for thought. So let's go back over to Bitcoin's chart. We are, in fact, double bottoming, like I said, guys. 12,900, right inside, perfectly inside our golden pocket here. Played out nicely. I could see us wicking outside of it to the bottom, but I don't really think we're probably not going to close candles outside of there. I think we're pretty close to our bottom, but we'll see what happens. We will double bottom. Yeah, double bottom jeans, boots with the fur, right? You know how it is. You know the song. So, yeah. Well, guys, listen. I got to get over to the Patreon. I got a live coaching call that I have to do over there. So, guys, if you want to get into our coaching calls, get yourself booked in over on the Patreon. I've done a lot over there today, guys. I dropped another small cap gem video over there if you want to get in early on a play. I also dropped a swing trade opportunity on the swing trade chat channel over there as well. All that and more. I do have a couple more pieces of video coming out for the Patreon tonight. We will be doing our live stream tonight, probably around 6 p.m. Central, so make sure you're there for that. We got all kinds of stuff going on tonight over on the Patreon. All that and more. Swing trades, guys, micro cap gems, live streams, everything else. It's everything you want. The link is in the chat. It's in the pinned comments. It's in the description. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. I'll see you guys in the next one. God bless.